So are you doing any procurement now as part of your program? Is that a goal of your program to procurement, or is that kind of off your radar?
That is definitely a piece of how the organization started and our goals. We've been really stonewalled by our food service director, who's in charge of the K-8 piece, and we've just had a real opening with the high school district, because that's a different food service director. And so we're getting some movement there, and they're likely going to be hiring one of our board members who is a farm-to-table chef to be consulting on procurement. And then putting in a salad bar, so come back to us in a year.
Was procurement part of the USDA Farm to School grant? Is that written into that, or
No.
No.
I mean, other than like Harvest of the Month.
Okay.
Yeah, the school food piece was separate than the farm to
So that
school.
wasn't written into the
Yeah, we couldn't rely on cooperation there, so we didn't.
And so ultimately, you're working with the same students, because the K-8 food services director has a different agenda, driven probably by finances, bottom line. You're still going to chip away at that. You're going to be undaunted.
And she did just put in her first salad bar in the last couple months. So that's an exciting step in that direction, and we'll see how it goes from there.
And the reason I ask is,
First
Food Corp, their focus is on working with food services and procurement. And so how do you interface with the food service director? You meet with your liaisons once a month. How often does food services director do you want to meet with? And do you meet with?
Well, we had a monthly meeting with her boss, and the superintendent of schools, and some of the other superintendents of the various districts. We met monthly for a year and a half and got nowhere. And so now we're building our base for a more ground up kind of public.
Yeah, it needs to come from the members.
And as we send out board
Work around her.
members for procurement and work with these food services, we could really benefit by the dialogue you had that don't do this, because that's a big, you're stepping on somebody's toes.
Well, it completely depends on the person, because we've met other food service directors who are like, God, we wish we had you to help us.
Okay.
And we raised money for salad bars and they didn't take it, so it's not,
So it's a relationship, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you had any experience doing any kind of scholarships through FFA or some of those programs? I know we didn't talk, it's kind of more on your intern thing, but
What do you mean by scholarships?
just for other resources, right? Because we're talking about funding for resources, and Future Farmers of America, will provide some scholarships for the kids that go through that program. But I guess you're still in the 3rd grade and 6th grade. You haven't done high school yet. So it's an age thing.
Because we're K-8 right now,
Yeah.
we haven't gotten yet
I answered
there.
my own
I
question.
think, once we start doing more of the getting the inroads with the procurement piece and the school food for the high school, I think it's going to be like the opposite. So we've been doing farm to school, hoping that can inform school food. And I think with high school, it's going to be school food is going to be the back door for farm to school. So
That's one of the areas that I'm looking at, because I'm the closest to the high school, Granite Bay High School. So that's where a lot of interest is.
Yeah, and that's a great partner.
Okay.
How do you incorporate the salad bar into the farm to school, or is it specifically have to be incorporated into the federal lunch part of the program? You know what I mean? Because we have a salad bar just this year, very small, but they have to incorporate it specifically with what they have to take. This amount of serving here, this amount of serving there. How do you guys incorporate your salad bar into farm? Are you actually incorporating it through farm to school, and is it?
No, a salad bar has to happen through food service because it can't compete
yeah,
with.
it's just like you.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's basically 2 ways to do it. It can be the vegetable item of the thing, or it can be the whole meal itself.
Okay, I wasn't clear if you guys were actually able to get there, and I thought, oh, how did you get there? Through farm to school. you know,
Yeah,
make
no, it
it
has to
more.
come for
Yeah.
food service.
But if you go through your food service person, the rules changed, at least in Yuba County, that they can buy directly from farmers. As long as they're going and they're looking at it, they have the qualifications to approve the food that they're buying, just as if they're going to a market anyplace else. So if you can get them talking to the farmers, it is possible that the money coming through the school, through the government, can go to support the local farmer and bring that on, which is what we're doing at our school. Luckily, it's small, we can do it, it's a lot easier.
What's the name of the school again? It'll be Kim and Lady, sorry.
Yuba Environmental Science,
Yeah,
In
and
Yuba City, I
there,
guess, or where's?
Oregon House.
and there are, you know, if they're seeking federal reimbursement for their meals, there's a whole kind of specification procurement policy that they have to go through. You know, they have to get multiple bids for the produce and, you know, say why they're buying from a specific grower if they're, you know, if they're not the one that had the lowest bid and things like that, but it will be worked out.
Yeah.
Going back to the FFA thing, one of the models that we're trying to create, and we're working closely next year, actually, I'm going to release 2 or 3 periods from my middle school job to work with the high school farm, or the FFA program, is looking at beginning kind of like as a junior, where they go through a program and learn about small-scale sustainable agriculture, nutrition, all those kinds of things, and then as a senior, they go into the elementary schools and help maintain and take care of the gardens with elementary kids, and then also teach the nutrition, so we create our own, and they're getting units for it. So again, sometimes it's not about looking for funding, it's about looking for resources.
Yeah.
And as a school, we have human resources, and our students are our #1 resource. And so they can, you know, if, I mean, this is a dream right now, it's not happening, but it is a goal with our superintendent that we're looking at. They're actually releasing me from one job to go to another because they believe in this kind of idea. And so that, you mentioned FFA, and that's a way we're really trying to tie into our high school as a resource to support all of our elementary gardens with the maintenance and education for the kids, which we already have a program called Missing Links, where kids come into classrooms, so it would just be, you know, they take a class and then they go help teachers in classrooms, so it'd be the same model, but now it's just nutrition and gardening focused.
So then we can exchange information after.
Yeah, so that's kind of conceptually what we're looking at doing.
Yeah, and ROP is another,
Yeah.
you know, potential way to engage high school students with it. And then after-school programs, I ran a program in Oakland where we hired high school students to do a number of things, but they developed a peer-to-peer education program, and they then taught what they had learned to their peers in classrooms, and that was great. Yeah, too.
That was, could even be in this K through 8, they also have the enrichment classes that go through the school after school, that if you could even focus on a little seasonal, like in the fall and in the spring, a couple of sets of classes for them for kids who are more focused on wanting to do it, do a little bit of the farm to school on that.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of schools, it'll be on a school-to-school basis. Del Oro has the FFA, they were able to get things that they grew, we're going to be able to go into the cafeteria. And I know at Rock Creek, some of the items that are grown at the school garden do go into the cafeteria because the teachers and the cafeteria workers and people are working together on it.
There's some great high school farm models where that's happening. Actually, in Twelve right now, Sonora Union High School is starting a 10-acre farm for exactly that. And Manteca's got a great model for that. There's some really neat models for high school kids growing the food and it being used in food services.
That's what Del Oro High School is doing.
Yeah.
They have their own CSA.
That's awesome.
Oh, cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and before I started working at Sierra Harvest, I ran a high school farm that did that also, that we grew everything and basically all the produce for the school came from the school farm.
That was good. Was it in the book?
No, Woolman Semester School.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. I think we did great on time, you guys, at 7:35.
Can we get a listserv of all these folks? And then so we'll be able to communicate?
Yeah, is everyone okay with sharing your
Hi, my name is Donna Eckwurzel, and I live in Granite Bay, California. My family and I purchased a ranch, a 3.3-acre ranch in the heart of Granite Bay, which is a very large bedroom community, so to speak. And we're going to be using that ranch and converting it from a horse ranch to a farming ranch, where we're going to be teaching leadership through farming and animal care. Working with the local schools. We're in walking distance from 5 schools. Specifically, closest is Granite Bay High School. Looking to work with the ROP program, and also searching. What we need is people who are interested in sponsoring or working on site at Granite Bay High School with Future Farmers of America, FFA. Some of the programs that we're looking at. But we're looking for people from a Boy Scout perspective, a Girl Scout perspective that need to do their award programs and projects to help us create some infrastructure there. We need a well during this thing, so we can, whatever we create is sustainable and we don't have to worry about water shortages or what have you. And then we need people who volunteer to do educational classes, whether you're a master gardener, master preservative, doing master preservation, or anything else that you would like to do that teaches this kind of organic, farming and animal care would be great. Donna Eckwurzel in Granite Bay. Hearts Landing is our nonprofit. Thank you so much.
You have a URL?
I don't yet.
Uh-oh.
But I can give you my number.
Sure.
916-521-1343. 916-521-1343. That is my cell phone number. Text me is always great. Thank you.
And can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So which species are you going to be working with at this property?
Right now it's starting. It's starting phases. We're working with horses and we're working with chickens.
Cool.
So we're also teaching the value of creating farming and money, so the whole cycle part of it, where there's the business attached to farming, as well as taking the top 10%, or first 10%, that first fruits, and giving it back to food closets. So what we're doing is really teaching leadership, self-leadership, leadership in the community, and leadership of others to kids through these programs as well, and the value of growing something with your own hands, and the positive aspects and the self-esteem that comes with that.
My name is Catherine Mcroberts, and I have a farm in Newcastle, Laughing Duck Farm. I'm also a master gardener, a permaculturist, and I have been working in the school gardens for probably 10 years or so, directly with the children. And one of my visions and one of my goals within my life is to teach people to grow more of their own food, and to teach people to eat more healthy, eat more natural foods. And I feel that the children are one of the biggest places that we need to focus on doing that. So I have a passion towards this with both school gardens, with personal gardens, and with farm to school, and was hoping to be able to network while up here with other counties and with other folks working on this, and get a lot of good information from that. And I thank Sierra Harvest for doing what they're doing.